Welcome back, everyone. Today I bring you another game with the US 24th National Guard Division. We are on Mount River. I think I've called this map Two Lakes several times now, because there's like two lakes in the middle, even though it's like three lakes and a river, I guess. And that's why it's called Mount River. Or am I... What is it actually called? No, it is Mount River. The weird map, where like you play on 10% of the whole map because cool game design, map design. Sorry, not game design. We're going up against the 56, so one of the well, it's not even that new, but the newer airborne divisions. That's not airborne, but more like helicopter. And yeah, I'm once again on this side of the map. I've almost exclusively played on. I've played one game on the other side of the map. All the other games have been on this one, on this side. I don't know why, but it is what it is. So I am going for a fairly standard strategy of having a defensive deployment on the left-hand side, because, yeah, the reasons I have explained several times now. The 1-point sectors are just not worth it. You have to drive through half the map, and it's a bit dumb. So Engineer Dragon, Stinger, and Sniper, and then going for a bit of a, well, not aggressive, but heavier deployment on the right side and the center. So getting a Sniper into the tree line here. Get up a chaparral, and you can see I'm going with a like more air defense focused deployment, because the two new I'm just going to call them new divisions, even though they're not technically new. Because of the helicopters, they can have a pretty nasty helicopter opener. 101st more so than 56, but still. So I wanted to have some air defense in play. That's also why I bought the F4 in the beginning. One scout squad on the right hand side to well, have some scouting information in the beginning, and then possibly moving up into the next forest line, as I like to do. And one scout in here for the beginning, because the kind of disadvantage of 56 is that they don't really get any, or like not really, they just don't get any actual airborne troops, meaning forward deployed, except for their GRU Stinger recon squad, but this is just only a 4-man squad, so it's not really that good of a forward deploy. 101st gets the Delta, which doesn't have any AT or AA launcher, but it's a 6-man squad, and there's a sniper rifle, so they're pretty decent. But on the other hand, 56 gets some Razvedka with BMP2s, so they're not actually like really forward deployed, but they're recon, so they're still further forward than normal infantry. So if you want you can have quite a lot of forward deployed on this BMD2s. No, wait, it's not a BMD, it's a BMP2. Yeah, it's a BMP2D, because like the 56Y is a Afghanistan Veteran division, and they upgraded to the BMP2 because they didn't need the BMD. The lighter one didn't make any sense for them, so they just went with the one that just has more armor and more protection. And yeah, well, as I said, they can get quite a few of them early on that can well, surprise you, but that's obviously fairly expensive. That's the disadvantage. But I was hoping that I could still get past it, because the disadvantage of the BMP obviously is that it's not that quick, not that fast. So I was hoping that I would still be able to like squeeze through here and get into the buildings there, and with my like military police and Engineer Dragon, I would have big HP squads, and then with the military police, they would also buff my squads to be better. National Guard, Ito, Jeep as well to catch off any reinforcements with BMPs because they also get just normal infantry in BMP2s. And then you can see also some infantry into the right-hand flank, into the sector on the right-hand flank, I guess, with the engineer and the National Guard Fireteam Law with the Bradley to get some cheap infantry, and especially the Bradley was important for me here. And you can see I thought that I might try something different a little bit and also deploy from the left-hand side into the center sector. See if that works, because then even if he has some heavy presence in those buildings here, well, which most people have, or like mostly the tower and the forest line there, I can go from the flank and get into the center sector without being shot at by a billion ATGMs. I wasn't sure how this would go in the beginning because I have never done it actually, and the enemy still has the tower here that has a very good sightline over the whole flank, which is still why I think that the other side is just better, because you get 2 omega busted towers in a sense of very good vision, and well, my side just doesn't get any of that. So game started. Also bought in a 50 cal on the right hand side, because one thing 56 is also known for is their very big infantry squads, because Eugen likes to add very big infantry squads for a reason that I do not understand, because it's just cancer and not fun to play against infantry squads that are like 14 men or something or whatever. But I guess it is what it is. And to be fair, like 56 has other weaknesses, right? It's not like it's busted. It's just not fun to play against them. I didn't hear, I think, any helicopter. So the heavy AA opener was pretty useless, which is one reason why I hate those helicopter divisions, because you just have to gamble on what they do, and if you miss gamble, you already have a massive disadvantage in the opener, which is pretty stupid. And you can see recon BMP2s coming in, also a bunch of infantry in the BTRs, so there's a lot of deployment coming into the center sector. National Guard Ito, of course, targets the retreating vehicle, because why wouldn't it? So all his infantry gets through. That was unlucky. BMP2 gets targeted by the Engineer Dragon, but it's a Dragon 1, so even if it doesn't one-shot, kill off a BTR, so that's something. But one of the 5 billion ATGMs he already has there kills off my Ito Jeep, and you can see a lot of infantry. 3 meta squads already there. Conquerors in the back. Infantry here trying to sneak through, because, well, I saw the BMP2 and the Conquerors. So I tried to go without being killed by them. Engineer Dragon here luckily survives. All those meta squads killing everything, and because the balance patch that's gonna nerf all the metas is not gonna come in like the next 100 years, we're still gonna have to play with the cancer meta, where your enemies just spam dragon teams and metas and kill off all your BMPs. Which is honestly what I should have done in this case. Like, that was a mistake by me. But like, the problem is also that my dragon squads are like half the size of his. Bring in the Strike Eagle to quickly kill off his meta squads, because I know that the big weakness of 56 is that they have only bad air defense. And here I do a big mistake. I microed the Eagle away too early from the Chaika, then retarget it, and I thought it would turn away and, well, do another flyover, but it still dropped its bombs and like missed by a kilometer. I don't know why. Like, the air is just so weird. Sometimes you put a fighter on a helicopter that's like on the other side of the map, and the fighter's like, oh no, I can't attack. I will do an extra turn because herder, I don't have the right angle to attack. But then if you tell your LGB bomber to drop on a target that is outside of his like hit circle, he'll be like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna drop the bomb in the field behind him. What is going on? Why can't there be any consistency about that? And yeah, now my push here has completely failed. Everything is dead. I have killed quite a few infantry of him as well, though. So I wasn't feeling that bad about my position. Because the losses seemed to be like fairly equal. Losing the Bradley with the infantry on this side here was obviously painful, but engineered dragons got through, so that's at least something. Bradley here, 68% accuracy, by the way, shoots and misses. Not maximum range, by the way. 60% accuracy. Bruh. But gets one shot by Conquerors with 50% accuracy, because of course it does. Deploy the 50 cal here. I was afraid that the infantry he had left, he would just march it across the open, because, well, I mean, all my stuff has died. So there was literally nothing stopping him, except for the 150 cal Jeep. Engage his BTR, and the 50 cal can actually penetrate him, and because I'm in a building, I was doing actually quite well. Also, he was mistaken by moving, because those BTRs, they come in with the meta squads, and they also have a grenade thrower on them. So yeah, now he's using them correctly. If they're stationary, they can use the grenade thrower and their machine gun. Though right now it's not using it for some weird reason. Okay. Well, the game is weird sometimes. You might have noticed that. And you can see more and more troops are being funneled in, bought in an Ito as well, just to hold off the horde of BTRs and BMPs that I was sure would be behind all of that. Can't see the BTR for reasons that are unknown. Matt is here just killing the Bradley because it wasn't able to stun him in time, and he still had Meta squads there because, yeah, as I said, mostly the strat against a division like 24th is just spam Metis, just vomit out ATGMs like there's no tomorrow. Bring in the Strike Eagle again to kill off the Metis, because I mean, that worked pretty well before. The nerf, by the way, to Metis and Dragons will be that they will have less range, which is very, very good, because finally your IFVs will be able to engage them without being shot at all the time. He brings in 3 fighters, but then instantly retreats them. I think he thought that I retreated my Eagle, but I didn't, so, well, I just used it to kill off the BMP2 there. That my Dragon was not able to kill off with 6 Dragon missiles. I mean, okay, it's 45% accuracy, but like 45% accuracy shooting 6 times, like you should hit twice. Come on, man. But yeah, finish it off with the Strike Eagle. So that was an okay strike. I mean, there's no heavy tanks that I can kill with the Strike Eagle in this matchup, right? So might as well use it on the annoying meta squads. And now I can see infantry coming in on the right-hand flank. And, well, there's nothing coming in for me because I was investing in artillery to dislodge all his troops, because I can't keep using the Strike Eagle because it needs to reload. And the second Strike Eagle, I just can't afford it because it costs, what, 315 points. That's too expensive. I need something that can just keep up the fire. So buying in the artillery, buying in also an M1IP for fire support on the center. But now he's buying in the more and more infantry, which is also one big advantage of 56, that they get a lot of infantry. And with all those BTRs and BMPs, they also get a lot of vehicles for fire support.
Ready for trophy hunting.
60% accuracy, by the way. Misses again. I mean, this time at least it's almost max range, so I guess there shoots another time. And misses again. 60% accuracy, by the way. Shoots twice, misses twice. Like, this was already extremely tilting, that like 60% ATGMs, mine, are missing all the time. Well, his 50% ATGMs are hitting all the time. Spot a Strelton M and quickly kill it off, because I know that he only gets a limited supply of them, and it will be really important for him to keep me at bay. See a very big clump of infantry, kill off 2 infantry squads at once, but now he calls in 3 of his fighters. I was hoping 40% ECM might save me, but of course it doesn't. Why wouldn't it? If it would have been an enemy F-15E, would have like escaped 5 IHawks, but I'm gonna die against 3 shitty MiG-23s, of course. And now there's nothing I can do. His BMPs are fire supporting my infantry down. I'm retreating my command. And yeah, I mean, the 2 Stingers here not gonna do much. The ITO Jeep could do something if it would hit something. But yeah, I didn't want to reroute it to here because I was still afraid that a bunch of BTRs would come through this lane here. The left-hand side is being ready to push in, or beginning to be ready to push in, but I wanted to use the artillery first. And also, then I was busy microing on the right-hand flank. You can see, again, more infantry coming in, and you can see how just the sheer amount of infantry is absurd. Those are the very cheap squads in like the bootleg Urals, I think. It's with a KPVT and 57mm rocket pod from the helicopters. Called in a strike eagle again, but no good targets. Really presenting. Bring in the engineers. And I mean, my engineer against his Saperi is a pretty good fight because my squad is just twice as big. It's not twice as expensive actually, so that's at least something. And yeah, you can see there the Metla using its 57mm. Spot his command vehicle, so I decided to just target it as long as I can. Also brought in a Phantom to just soak some damage. If he brings in his fighters again, he does, but I instantly retreat. I killed off his command, so I bought myself some time, but now his BMPs are coming in again, and the ITO Jeep is almost out of ammo. I am bringing in more infantry, but those are all engineers to hold off his infantry, but I still wasn't able to kill off the BMPs, so that was also not a good call by me, honestly. MiG-23 dies to the chaparrals I just called in, so that was a kind of lucky call. I bought them because I was sure that he would like start striking that with his air or helicopters, because he surely would have noticed that there was no air defense there. Now I'm starting my advance into this sector, and you can see with all the fire support and the infantry, it's looking quite well. Engineer Dragon not being able to deal with the Ural because it's completely suppressed and misses all its Dragon once, as they usually do. This one engages this infantry squad in the BTR though, and actually hits and kills it, so that was good news for once. Those Ahrana squads are decent infantry. It's a 10-man squad, and it only costs 45 points. Well, only, it's quite expensive actually for a 10-man squad without an AT launcher, but it's still decent in my opinion. And yeah, the BMP2 still being a big problem. Tried to target it, but it moved out. I still have no answer to it. And now his air comes in. Chaparral was too far back, and well, I kind of focused my A8 defense on the right-hand flank, which was not optimal, I guess. Though I get quite a lot of kills in return, so that was good. So again, I'm a lot of points behind, but I'm killing a lot of stuff, so I was feeling okay. Another Strelaton M dying somewhere, by the way. He is sniped here on the right-hand side. You can see he brought in a lot of Strelaton Ms, which makes sense because he knows that I have a Strike Eagle still left, right? And now there's a big offensive coming here, and I don't have an ITO, so that was a big mistake. And yeah, now it's being fire supported down by the Recon ZSU-23, which is a very wild vehicle. I mean, the 56 in general has a lot of very wild vehicles, but it's also kind of the fun of the division. And you can see I didn't even have the points to buy in a command earlier on. The Spetsnaz Stinger completely deleting my squad, which is fair enough because it's like a Spetsnaz, it's special forces. and has 4 submachine guns. And yeah, here there's just nothing I can do to stop him because I had to spend so many points in the right-hand flank and in the center to get back in. Like, I'm killing all his stuff, but he's just zombies swarming me, and there's nothing I can do. I thought there was a fighter coming in, so I retreated the strike eagle, and I mean, yeah, it was a fighter coming in for the Apache. Doesn't kill it in one run. Let's see if the chaparral can kill him off, and it does. That was pretty lucky, honestly. But the disadvantage is now obviously that I need to repair the Apache and buy a supply vehicle for that, so that's more points going down the drain. Infantry here has kind of captured the center, but not really. More BMP2s coming in, and like this, I don't have ATGMs here. I don't know where to get all these points from. All my stuff on the left-hand flank has died. Engineer Dragons have been out of ammo for a long time now, so they're not gonna do much. And yeah, here I was just shocked. I was always under the impression that if an ATGM fires at your tank turns towards the ATGM, but my Abrams literally turned its side armor to the Conquerors. So I'm not gonna capture this zone now anytime soon. He's bringing in the new swarm of zombies. I don't have supply to repair the Abrams. Now my infantry in the front line is completely out of support. Nothing I can do. This flank is completely open now. Try to buy in a Cobra, but I mean, he still has like 2 or 3 Star LTNMs in the back. Try to target him with artillery. And I mean, the Cobra will also not do much against the T-62, but I didn't notice the T-62 before, so yeah, that was why I bought in the Cobra. It also instantly gets like crew injured by the BMP. I never knew that BMPs just nuke Cobras, apparently. I was under the impression that those 2 fire teams were on a attack move order, so that's why I didn't unload them. And then once I realized that they were just moving towards the T-62 without doing anything, I unload them, but I mean, that's already too late. They are in range of the T-62, one is already dead, infantry is now also in a, like, pretty bad position. I kill off the T-62 at least, but only after he captured the zone. And now the Dragon will engage the BMP-2, the fire team 84 needs to get in range. Zombies here attacking, and yet it's the perfect engagement from them because I only have those small garbage squads and the ZSU from the flank doing some fire support. Engineers here are low, but I realized that there was nothing much left, and I didn't see anything, so I tried to move them up and see what I can find. Only a very low mod Razvedka, so quickly dislodge of them. But like the center is already full of infantry again, and I don't have enough supply. I'm just bringing it in. One BMP2 just completely killing all my stuff. Apache hits, so that was at least good news. And now he's bringing in his helicopters. But I only have 1 chaparral here. Still 2 chaparrals in the back there, which, to be fair, did a very good job of sniping a lot of his planes. But that doesn't help me when he has like 1 million men on the ground in true Soviet fashion, just throwing men at the problem until he wins. Aito unfortunately dies before. I thought those were BMPs, by the way, but those are Iglas in the I don't even know what that is. The little armored vehicle, the new one with the double 23 mil on top of it. But I mean, I just moved in the Command Abrams and killed them off because they were no threat to me. Bringing the Strike Eagle again to kill off the Star LTNM. And the problem right now is that I'm just running out of time. Like, I was pretty sure that I have killed a lot of stuff, but he just has more and more and more, and I just felt so stun-locked. Because anytime I kill his infantry squads, he moves up with like twice as many. And yeah, Chaika here, my infantry squads can't do anything against it. But yeah, again, Abrams, no problem dealing with it. Abrams here trying to move in, but obviously he still has infantry there. By the way, those were more LGB, like laser-guided bombs from the Strike Eagle, landing in the water back there. Yes, you saw correctly. Quickly smoke off my Abrams. It was stunned by the RPG-16. Like, why does his RPG-16 do more damage than my Dragon ones? I don't even know what's going on. Bought in the Eagle to force back his MiG-27, but then I targeted the MiG-23. and now both are flying away. See some helicopters. But yeah, at this point I wasn't even really microing anymore, because you can see he's still at a +4 and there's no way for me to get in anywhere. I can't get in here because he has already infantry here. Can't get in here because I have lost all my infantry in there. And yeah, so at this point it was over. And you can see, like, this is absurd. I had twice as many kills and he still had more on the field than I had. And yeah, look at the Strike Eagle. How many kills it got. Engineers here also, to be fair, doing a decent job. Ito just... I don't even want to talk about this absolute failure of a man. This general, my ATGMs just not being able to hit most of the time. This Ito did well. He gets a medal. Especially because he killed a Pulimechiki in their BMP. That's very good. Yeah, this Strike Eagle unfortunately got killed on its first run. So that was a bit unlucky. 40% ECM, by the way. But it do be like that sometimes. Chaparral getting some good value. Unfortunately, just after my stuff had already died. And yeah, kills all around, but just I was not able to get anywhere because he was just throwing bodies at me. See the Metis here getting a lot of kills, and the Conquerors 50% accuracy, by the way. No, 55, because they're upvetted, to be fair. And yeah, in true Soviet style, just diarrheaing you with stuff until you can't do anything anymore. And to be fair, it was a perfect counter strat against my division, which is... That's why I kind of hate ranked, because you pick a division and then you get a random map against a random opponent and you might just be outpicked. And I think that 56 is a pretty decent counter against 24th, at least the way I played, because if you like do an actual air spam 24th, obviously 56 will struggle, but I don't play 24th as an air spam division. I only have the 2 Strike Eagles as Strikecraft and then Wild Weasels to escort them, which don't do anything in this matchup because 56 doesn't have any radar array, so they were useless. And also on this map, like, yeah, he can do exactly what he did. Just shit out an endless amount of Metis and the cheap Akhlana PMP2s and just overwhelm me with numbers, and there's nothing I can do, because I can also bring in cheap infantry, but my cheap infantry is like half the size of his and also reservist, so I will just lose every single engagement. And that was just painful. Well done by him, but for me it was just so... I just felt like I lost half my IQ, and I didn't have a lot to begin with, let's be clear here, playing this game. And yeah, that's kind of how it feels to play the game at the moment. Like, it's just blobbing up a shit ton of stuff. Whatever it is doesn't really matter. So I guess in this case it's okay meta. It's not like only tanks or only infantry. It's just whatever, but just blob up a shit ton of it and then Q move and then you win. And that's kind of boring, honestly. Like, and then behind it also have artillery, or don't. As you can see, that can also work. It again depends on the matchup and the map. But yeah, pretty painful right now. Maybe I will also try some other divisions, but at the moment I'm honestly considering just taking a break until they drop the new update, because it's just... It is very boring, to put it mildly, at the moment. Even if you win, it feels kind of bad. But well, enough negative emotions for the time being. I hope you still liked it, or at least learned something from it. I for sure did. And I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.